Now at 9, voters in Missouri next month will decide if daycare should be exempt from property tax. Plus, how the Cherokee Nation is expanding its casino footprint in Oklahoma. And we'll learn about a support group in Neosho, Missouri, helping caregivers of people with Alzheimer's disease.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Anthony Saviello. Police in Parsons, Kansas arrest a man after fatally shooting another man. It happened around 11 p.m. last night on the 2300 block of Appleton Street. Police say they arrived to find a man, Tyler Absher, lying in the street with a gunshot wound. Officers heard a voice tell them to check on the man because the speaker had shot him. The voice came from Michael Morales, who was hiding behind a tree with a gun in his hand. As officers tried to arrest Morales, he tried running but was quickly stopped. Police then found another victim, Maurice Harper, inside a home. First responders took both victims to a hospital. Absher is receiving care for his injuries, but Harper died from his. Official charges against Morales are still pending. A person is dead after a crash in downtown Joplin this afternoon. The two-vehicle crash happened just before 2:15 p.m. at 2nd and Jackson. Joplin police say a southbound vehicle failed to yield to a westbound vehicle, resulting in the crash. Authorities say one person involved was not responsive and was rushed to an area hospital. JPD says the person died a short time later. We'll check with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney for a first look at weather.
Well, it's pretty nice out there. We've got clear skies. We had some clouds earlier today, but they've definitely cleared out. And taking a look, we got a nice sunset going on. Temperatures dropping down to the mid 70s. So it's 76 out in Joplin right now, and it feels like 76. So I know that's been a change of pace since it's been feeling like it's in the triple digits. But tonight, temperatures across the region: 74 in Monette, 79 in Miami, 78 in Oswego. Still pretty warm out in Independence, 84, 82 in Chanute. Not too bad out there. Now, we do have some winds out of the north, which is keeping us relatively cooler than what we've seen before. And that's going to stay like that for the next several days. We see mild temperatures all through the weekend. However, we do have rain chances kicking up. We'll talk about it in just a bit.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. There's a need for more child care facilities in the state of Missouri. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more on how this is affecting families in Joplin and how a proposed constitutional amendment could change things.
With 4- and 5-year-olds, which is my class.
On August 6th, Missouri voters will decide on a constitutional amendment that would exempt child care facilities from paying property taxes. Diane Dillon is a lead teacher at Little Cub Academy in Joplin. She says that she hopes this will create more child care facilities and help minimize the care shortage.
There is a child care desert in Missouri, and there's a huge need for infant child care. It's greatly lacking. Affordable is also an issue because child care is expensive.
Kimberly Madajek is a mother of 3. She says finding a daycare for her 9-month-old is extremely difficult.
We're actually on 2 different waiting lists trying to see if we can even get him in anywhere. And in a family, at least with this economy right now, we are having to, both parents have to work, at least in our family household.
She says that the child care shortage put her and her husband in a predicament where they had to adjust their work schedules to be home.
I had to make considerations in my job. Thank goodness they were able to work with me, but I know all families aren't like that the job might not be able to make that exception.
She hopes that a tax exemption would benefit the children by allowing the facilities to have more money left over to upgrade their facilities.
Anything that gives them money to be able to put towards our children or put towards their facilities or their workers would be beneficial for us, because that's what we want for our kids. We want them to have the newer things and be able to actually interact and talk with all of those teachers.
Madachek says that she hopes the property tax exemption leads to more affordable childcare for other parents. Reporting in Joplin, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
The property tax break could also cost money. According to the state of Missouri, the state's blind pension fund could lose up to $400,000 each year. The Northeast Tech Afton campus served as launch pad for a collaboration with Tango Flight. Students enrolled in the STEM program got to earn their wings through building an aircraft meeting FAA standards. The project will expose students to an array of STEM principles, including engineering, aerodynamics, and electronics, as well as provide them with practical skills and insights into the aviation industry.
So the students are super excited about this. We've been telling them for about the past 6 months what's coming for this year. And as we went to recruit, we've actually seen a huge increase in our numbers of students who have applied this year. So I think this is something that really not only fills a need in the job market, but it's really resonating with students.
A representative from Tango Flight will pilot the completed aircraft, showcasing the students' achievement and dedication to excellence in May of 2026. The Miami Public Library today dove into the world of magic. They hosted a performance from local magician Kevin Wade. The hour-long magic show was free to the public and available for the whole family.
He is a staple in our community. We're going to have him back for Heritage Fest this Saturday the 27th in the Kidsville area. We're going to have him back in the fall because the kids just absolutely love the show that he puts on. And he's always doing something new and different.
Kevin Wade is based out of Miami but performs in venues throughout the area. The Cherokee Nation is expanding its casino footprint by applying to build its 10th casino in Oklahoma near Bartlesville and is building another northwest of Little Rock, Arkansas. The gaming industry is competitive in Oklahoma with 33 tribes using their gaming licenses. But as Chloe Abbott reports, industry advocates say there's still room for more.
There are more than 130 casinos in Oklahoma, and more could be coming, according to Matt Morgan with the Oklahoma Indian Gaming Association.
There's going to be competition, and we understand that.
The Cherokee Nation Businesses agrees, especially on its reservation. It applied to build a new casino on U.S. Highway 75 south of Bartlesville city limits in June, only a few miles from the Osage Casino that opened less than a year ago.
We think that the Bartlesville area in general has the capacity to have demand for that facility as well.
Legalizing sports betting is something Chuck Garrett, CEO of Cherokee Nation Businesses, is ready to add into all of its casinos. But he says it can't do that until state lawmakers are ready to have a conversation about it.
Clearly, the state of Oklahoma, the legislature, the governor has to be engaged in that as well, and so we'll be there, willing to engage at the right time and hopefully be able to offer that to our customers.
In the meantime, it's expanding to build a casino in Arkansas and already operating in Mississippi.
What we are seeing is revenues that could be going to the state are now going to other states, and so I think that ultimately it just makes sense for the state of Oklahoma and the tribes to come together and move forward with sports betting.
You know, let's look at sports betting. Let's look at how we define it, what everyone's comfortable with operating, and then what makes economic sense in terms of fee sharing. And I don't think that's a long conversation.
The new legislative session in the Sooner State kicks off February 3rd at the state capitol. The Woodson County Fair is in full swing this week with livestock shows, 4-H food sales, and family-friendly activities. Today, young exhibitors weighed in their animals, preparing to show them off.
Mainly getting to hang out with my friends and just paying off all my hard work throughout the year.
At the fair, I like to just hang out with friends and look at everybody else's projects. It's kind of when you get to see where everyone's hard work really pays off.
The fair continues throughout the weekend with more exhibits, contests, a watermelon feed, and a lot more. Still ahead, how local caregivers for Alzheimer's patients are getting some much-needed support. Caring for someone with Alzheimer's or dementia takes a physical toll. Researchers at Rice University found stress experienced by caregivers affects the health of cells and the body's immune system. Over time, that stress can lead to lower energy when engaging in physical activities, fewer positive emotions, and could even contribute to the caregiver developing dementia or Alzheimer's. A support group for caregivers of dementia patients aims to decrease anxiety and burnout. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
Taking care of a loved one who has dementia can be challenging. A group of caregivers meet up once a month at Oak Point Retirement Home to share their burdens.
When we started, we are here. We have resources we can help them get. We understand, and it's just a nice time, I think.
The wellness director at Oak Point says the biggest support can come from people who are in the same situation.
There is help out there. There are resources. People need to just reach out to other people that are going through the same thing. That is the basis of our support group. It really, truly helps.
The support group started a year ago and has been growing ever since, according to Cher.
I think that just having other people that are in the same situation as them and trying to navigate through what dementia means, it is amazing. I've watched them walk out of here. They still visit. It's pretty amazing.
Reporting in Neosho, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
The support group meets on the third Thursday every month at Oak Point. Children diagnosed with type 1 diabetes have a much higher risk of mental health issues. A University of Cambridge study finds children with diabetes were twice as likely to develop mood disorders and 4 times more likely to develop issues like eating and sleep disorders. The reasons for the link aren't understood, but doctors say young people with diabetes need monitoring and support for mental health. High-protein paleo diets have risks as well as benefits. A study in Geneva found while paleo diets can help you lose weight, the excess protein can overwhelm the liver and even cause neurological disorders. The study's authors say it's important to weigh the risks and benefits of any diet with your doctor. Well, Lindsay is next with a complete look at the forecast, and later, Fort Scott High School softball standout signs to play at Pitt State.
Well, it's a nice afternoon. It's a bit cooler, especially after earlier this week we had 90-degree temperatures. So we'll go ahead and take a look outside downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. Clear skies, a nice northerly breeze. Overall, it's a really great night tonight. We did have a few clouds earlier in the afternoon, but they cleared out. We don't have any rain on the forecast or any more clouds on the forecast, not until Saturday night and into Sunday. We have gotten quite a bit of rain, especially the last couple of weeks, but hasn't really improved our drought conditions. So we've still got some dry conditions, mostly out in the western counties. And luckily, that's where we're getting rain this weekend. So we'll take a look at, see exactly what we can expect in just a bit. But tomorrow, planning your day, it's going to get up to about 84 again tomorrow, maybe a cloud here and there. Overall, temps remain below average. We've still got that nice northerly breeze, about 5-10 miles per hour, and it's just going to be another really nice day. I know everyone's been enjoying it, especially since temperatures have been well above average for most of the summer. They're going to continue to stay about average, at least throughout the rest of the weekend and early next week. But we do have the rain in the forecast. So Saturday, we've got a few showers pushing into the western counties. Not going to drop a lot of rainfall. This is early in the afternoon, about 1 p.m., and it's really not going to make it far into our area. But when we move into later in the evening and early Sunday morning, that's where we start to see that line of thunderstorms moving into the area off in those western counties. Again, not really making it further into our counties, not even really making it towards Joplin. But those western counties is what really needs the rain. So it's good that it's making it towards that area. And again, not looking at a severe threat, just some scattered thunderstorms, scattered showers that are going to be pushing in early Sunday morning, starting about 3:30 in the morning and continuing for most of the morning. Now we'll take a look. We'll see how much rain we could expect to get. So we got that first little round, not a lot, and then that round of scattered thunderstorm chances. Maybe an inch in Fredonia, a little less in Howard, Sedan, Coffeyville, but getting a lot of rain in those western counties, which is where we need it. That is where those dry conditions are. But the rest of us may not see a drop of rain, not until at least Sunday evening. We do have more scattered thunderstorm chances Sunday evening, Monday, and even pushing into Tuesday as well. An isolated storm or two on Tuesday. Then temperatures warm up a little bit. Wednesday getting up to about 90, 92 Thursday, 94 on Friday. But until then, let's keep enjoying those low to mid 80-degree temperatures and the lows in the 60s. So it's going to be pretty cool evenings.
That and then I can just sit outside, start a fire.
In the evenings?
Yeah, just like a nice little...
Mosquitoes.
That's what the fire's for. It keeps the mosquitoes away.
Does it keep the mosquitoes away?
Yes, you need to do that.
How would I do that? I have a very small yard.
Well, don't start a fire if you can't keep it contained.
This is bad. I won't. I will find somebody with a fire.
Perfect. All right, thanks, Lindsay. Coming up, following last week's AT&T data breach, we'll have some tips to protect your phone from hackers. The Social Security Administration has announced a change to how people access their online portal. That will affect tens of millions of people. Users who created an online account before September 18th, 2021 will now have to transition to a login.gov or an ID.me account to access their online services.
There are great tools. You can estimate how much money you're going to get in Social Security. You can look at the different choices. And it's important that you do this because we want everybody to make this decision with a lot of information in hand.
The Social Security Administration says that website changes will not disrupt payments to anyone currently receiving benefits. Roughly 40% of Americans rely on Social Security alone for their retirement. A Bankrate survey found more than 1/3 of Americans are turning to side hustles to bring in extra money. If you're one, there are some important things to keep in mind. First, if you make more than $400 in a calendar year, you need to keep a record of income received and any expense that is business related. Also, Uncle Sam will take a slice of your side hustle income. That means that you need to estimate the taxes that will be due next April and keep that money set aside. AT&T call and text logs were exposed last week following a massive data breach. Experts say the hack is a good reminder to all cell phone users to keep your information safe. Jen Sullivan looks at ways you can protect your personal data.
We use our smartphones for almost everything: phone calls, emails, pictures, music, and even banking. So it's important to ensure our information is safe.
Everybody should be concerned about everything they do that's connected to the internet. You're creating a footprint of who you are.
Colin Welke, a cybersecurity partner at Hollis Stills law firm, says the recent hack of AT&T call and text logs shows how vulnerable all cell phone users are to their data being exposed.
We have gotten far too lax, and I think maybe this hack might have woken people up.
Welke says you should limit the amount of apps on your phone.
Every single app you download, you should seriously consider not downloading, because every one that you download, you're increasing the threat surface, the number of opportunities that an individual has to hack you.
Other tips include be cautious about what you're texting. Don't have embarrassing or sensitive photos on your phone. Don't store passwords for other accounts on your phone. Make sure the microphone feature is turned off on all apps. And don't allow applications to track your location. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Bissell is recalling upwards of 3 million Steam Shot handheld steam cleaners due to a burn hazard. According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, the recalled steam cleaners can shoot hot water or steam onto users during use or while heating. The recall covers multiple models in the model series 39N7 and 2994. The model numbers are on the product rating label on the bottom of the unit. The recalled steamers have Steam Shot or Power Steamer printed on the side. Up next, we'll learn how many millions this Stegosaurus skeleton just sold for at auction. What's your favorite dinosaur? Me, it's personally the Philothrampamimus, or whatever they're called. That might be subjective, but we have a definitive answer for the most expensive. Meet Apex, the Stegosaurus. She just sold at auction for a whopping $44.6 million. That's a lot more than the previous record holder Stan the T-Rex, who fetched nearly $32 million. Apex was excavated during 2022 and 2023. 254 of her 319 bones are real fossils. The rest were 3D printed or sculpted. She's 11 feet tall and nearly 27 feet long. It's not known who submitted the winning bid or if they plan to display Apex publicly. Well, I hope 10 million years from now, I can go for $44 million. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Former President Trump gets the chance to officially accept the Republican nomination for president as day 4 of the RNC kicks off. Plus, why President Biden may be growing more receptive to the idea of bowing out of the race for the White House.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Anthony Saviello. It's night 4 of the Republican National Convention, and former President Trump will get his chance to take the stage tonight to formally accept the GOP's nomination. Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor has the latest from Milwaukee.
The whole week here at the RNC has led up to tonight, when former President Trump will formally accept the GOP nomination. Anticipation is high for Donald Trump's keynote address tonight, his first speech since he was nearly killed on Saturday.
Honestly, I think a lot of the tune in this country has changed over the last few days following the assassination attempt. I've seen it firsthand, and there's a respect and there's a love, and I hope that continues.
The shooting prompted Trump to change his planned remarks for the evening. He was originally going to attack President Biden's policies, but now the speech will focus on unity.
President Trump tore up the speech that he had and said, I need to redo this. I have to lay out the pathway forward, how we unite the country, not just with words and tone, which are very important, but also with how we bring about that success. And he's going to do exactly that tonight.
Meanwhile, questions surrounding President Biden's candidacy continue to grow. The Washington Post reporting that former President Obama told allies that Biden's path to victory has greatly diminished. And Axios cites several top Democrats who say the president could withdraw from the race as soon as this weekend. But the Biden campaign remains insistent that the president isn't dropping out.
Our campaign is not working through any scenarios where President Biden is not the top of the ticket. He is and will be the Democratic nominee. Look, the president has said it several times. He's staying in this race.
All this while President Biden has COVID. He's currently isolating at home in Delaware, and his doctor says he has mild symptoms. In Milwaukee, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
The Secret Service, along with the FBI, briefed lawmakers yesterday on the 20-year-old Trump rally shooter Thomas Matthew Crooks. A source directly familiar with the briefing says Crooks used his phone to search for images of former President Trump and President Biden online. Crooks also searched the names of FBI Director Christopher Wray and Attorney General Merrick Garland. No motive has been discovered. The groundswell of Democrats and donors suggesting President Biden should step aside may be having an impact. Sources close to private briefings and conversations are indicating the president is growing receptive to the idea of bowing out. Laura Aguirre has more.
The Democrat Party is in a complete mess right now.
It's no surprise many Republicans feel that way, but more and more Democratic leaders are sounding that same alarm.
Former Speaker Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, and Schumer have relayed concerns of some members of the House and Senate caucuses.
This week, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi shared troubling poll numbers with President Biden on a private call, showing he'd not only lose to his Republican opponent Donald Trump, but he could also destroy Democrats' chances of winning the House. Several sources briefed on the call told CNN. The president was said to have pushed back, pointing to different polls showing he can win.
Either he has to win overwhelmingly or he has to pass the torch to someone who can't. It's as simple as that.
A growing number of Democratic lawmakers, including some senior leadership, have shared their concerns publicly in recent days, words that may be taking hold. One senior Democratic advisor now tells CNN the president is becoming receptive to talks of stepping aside, even asking those close to him if they think Vice President Kamala Harris could win.
Kamala Harris actually does a point or two better than Joe Biden in some key states.
And if the powers that be in the Democrat Party can convince him to move off, it's going to be a very different race here in just a month. And it's going to be a nail biter.
For the moment, the president's deputy campaign manager is towing the line on messaging.
The president has said it several times. He's staying in this race.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
For the next few days, President Joe Biden will be self-isolating at his beach home in Delaware while he undergoes treatment for his third COVID infection. He's posted on X that he's feeling good and will continue to work while he recovers. A bit later, how Paris officials are ramping up security ahead of the Olympics.
Luckily for us, the mild temperatures do continue for the rest of the weekend. We also have rain chances, but not tonight. So we'll go ahead and take a look outside downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. It's a clear night, not a cloud in sight. We also have a really nice northerly breeze going, which is what's keeping us pretty cool as well. We did have a little bit more of a cloudy afternoon, but clouds cleared out. We're looking good. We don't have any rain on the forecast until Saturday night, which is a good thing because we are still in those dry conditions for drought, especially out in the western counties. And that is exactly where we're going to get rainfall this weekend. We're going to take a look at that in just a moment, but planning your day for tomorrow, getting up to about 84 degrees, maybe a cloud or two, not anything crazy going on. So it's mostly going to be sunny. And temperatures are going to remain below average. So average for this time of year is right around 90 degrees. And we've been well below that since the cold front passed on Wednesday. So that's going to continue. 84, 85 in some areas, maybe a little bit warmer, especially out in those western counties. They've been getting warmer the last few days as well. And we also have that northerly breeze still in our area for the next several days. We move into the weekend. We've got that shower pushing through early Saturday morning. Now it's not, or Saturday afternoon, excuse me. Now it's not going to be a lot going on. It's really not even going to make it to Parsons, but it is moving into those far western counties, which is where those dry drought conditions are. Then in the afternoon, later in the evening, early Sunday morning, this is about 3:30 in the morning, we've got a line of scattered thunderstorms moving into the area. Again, not looking at a severe threat, and it's really not making it far into the area, so it's not even going to make it to Joplin, but it is going to make it all through those western counties, which is exactly where we need the rain at this moment. Continuing on, makes it to Parsons, and then right about the time it hits that Missouri-Kansas border, it really just kind of dissipates, and we're not seeing a ton of rainfall, at least through the early morning hours on Sunday. The first shower pushes in, not a lot of rainfall with that, and the second one, some areas are getting about a half an inch, some up to an inch in Fredonia, Howard, and Coffeyville. So not too bad, a good amount of rainfall. And like I said, it kind of falls off right when it moves over to Missouri. But luckily, that's not the end of our rainfall chances. So we've got those scattered thunderstorms moving in early Sunday morning. We've got another round of storms moving in later in the evening. Scattered thunderstorms continue Monday and even making it all the way till Tuesday. After that, temperatures warm up to 90 Wednesday, 92 Thursday. Low temperatures are going to remain in the mid to upper 60s, so we're going to have pretty cool evenings ahead. And then until the storms, we'll enjoy those mid 80 degree temperatures.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I cannot, well, we're already, I was going to say I can't
Can't
wait, but we're already
in
here.
it. It's happening right now. Go outside.
Well, we got to finish this first.
Right. My bad.
I will later.
I got ahead of myself.
Thanks, Lindsay. Well, it's the third Thursday of July, which means artists, vendors, food trucks, and hundreds of people flocked to downtown Joplin. One of the many activities this month was the STEAM Agonation Exploration hosted by the Creative Learning Alliance. The group hosted water-themed activities for kids to enjoy while learning about the vital liquid.
We focus on STEAM, so science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, because those are the building blocks of future knowledge. Those are the building blocks of innovation and creativity. So it's so important that kids have an understanding of the basic world and how it works around them.
Third Thursdays take place in downtown Joplin every month through October. Coming up in sports, the Joplin Outlaws try to keep their winning streak alive. Plus, an all-state basketball player from Girard makes his college commitment. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
Welcome into sports. I'm John Dales.
Pittsburgh State softball is coming off a record-setting season this spring. The Gorillas are retooling in the offseason and just picked up a local commit from Fort Scott High School. Fort Scott rising senior Allie Brown commits to Pittsburgh State, according to her personal Twitter page. As a junior this year, Brown helped lead the Tigers to a regional championship and an appearance in the 4A state tournament. She was named a first-team All-State infielder by Sports in Kansas after the season wrapped up and will play her senior year at Fort Scott before heading to PSU. More commitment news out of Southeast Kansas. Girard rising senior Aiden Troike announces his verbal commitment to play basketball at John Wood Community College in Quincy, Illinois. Troike, who stands at 6'4", was a third-team All-State performer for the Trojans this past season, according to Keisha Covered. Well, we've got plenty of summer collegiate baseball in the 4 states tonight. After the Nevada Griffins and Joplin Outlaws both played doubleheaders last night, they're each in action again this evening. Outlaws come into the night winners of 3 straight as they play host to the Texarkana Rhinos. Michael Castillo gets the start on the mound for Joplin. The lefty out of Baldwin, Missouri, goes 6 complete innings, striking out 7 batters on the night. In the second inning, game is tied at 1 run apiece. Bases are loaded, and Andre Jackson hammers this ball deep to the opposite field. It clears the short wall for a grand slam. Second home run of the year for Jackson. He picks up 4 RBIs with 1 swing of the bat. Outlaws up 5-1. Into the 5th, Joplin up 5-2. Sloan Laird singles into right. Rayvon Morgan throws a bullet home. He gets the out at the plate, and that's good for an outfield assist. Game still in progress. They're tied at 7 apiece in the bottom of the 8th inning. Over at Lions Stadium in Nevada, the Griffins play their second-to-last home game of the regular season against the Chillicothe Mudcats tonight. Griffins hold a 10-5 lead in the bottom of the 8th. These two will see each other again tomorrow. Major League Baseball returns to action out of the All-Star break tomorrow. Today, all 30 Major League clubs release their 2025 regular season schedules. Now we'll start by taking a look at the Royals schedule. They open the season at home against the Guardians on March 27th. That's the earliest opening day in franchise history. I-70 series, 2 games longer in 2025. KC finishes the year on the road in Sacramento, which is where the Athletics will play their home games next season. Cardinals start the season on March 27th as well. They host the Minnesota Twins. It's the second time in the last 3 years that the Redbirds have an interleague matchup on opening day. Cardinals won't see the Cubs until June, but they end the regular season with a 3-game series on the road at Wrigley Field. That's it for sports. Back with more news after this.
A heat wave across southern Europe is causing some tourist sites to shut down. Some cities are expected to feel 110-degree temperatures by the end of the week. Greek authorities closed the ancient Acropolis, one of Greece's most famous attractions. Wildfires sparked in several countries. In Macedonia, the government declared a month-long state of crisis. As the countdown to the Summer Olympics grows louder, security for the Games is also amplifying, with thousands of French military personnel busy conducting exercises and patrols. Fox News' Kevin Uretsky takes a closer look at the action ahead of the global sporting event.
With the Summer Olympics quickly approaching, the French military is ramping up security measures throughout Paris to protect athletes and spectators. Heavily armed teams are busy patrolling the River Seine. Unlike many other opening ceremonies of Olympics past, which have been held inside stadiums, the Seine is set to be the stage for this year's festivities, with roughly 10,000 athletes expected to float down the historic waterway on boats on July 26th. Military officers citing the intensity of serving in this type of setting.
This mission is complex and unprecedented. Complex because we are in an environment, Paris, the Seine, the urban area. There are vulnerabilities on our perimeter. The Seine is an area with a lot of activities.
Crews are also focused on ensuring safety beneath the waves.
We have deployed sonars on the bottom of the Seine. We have permanent screen copies in the command posts. We have nautical barriers.
On land, French armed forces have built a massive camp for 4,500 soldiers in the southeast of Paris.
Ready to intervene on short notice and rush wherever in Paris.
But in the digital age, technology experts say it's critical. Cybersecurity is another top concern for both the games and surrounding infrastructure.
Protecting the timing, the records, the registration of the athletes, the scheduling of events, things like electric power, transportation, civil defense.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
Coming up, a date and venue are set for the milestone 60th anniversary of the Academy of Country Music Awards. A comedy series set to return, a look at a bestseller turned drama, and a country music award show sets a date. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin has all this and more in today's Hollywood Nation.
I'm trying to figure out the best way to help my community when the time comes.
A book-to-screen first look, Rudolph's renewal, and cue the country music in today's Hollywood Nation.
And revolver at the end, please.
A date and venue has been set for the milestone 60th anniversary of the Academy of Country Music Awards. The event will take place May 8th, 2025, from the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas. 16-time ACM award-winning country music icon Reba McEntire will return as host.
She sent me a PDF? What is that?
That's violence, that's what it is.
The Apple TV Plus series Loot has banked another season. The streamer announced the workplace comedy will return for season 3. Starring and executive produced by Maya Rudolph. The show follows a divorced billionaire focusing on her new life journey, including by running a foundation she forgot she had.
The jury finds the defendant, Robert E. Douglas, guilty.
In today's First Looks is Rob Peace, directed, adapted by, and starring Chiwetel Ejiofor. Based on the best-selling book, the film follows the true story of a young man torn between his father's shadowed past and his own promising future, risking everything he's worked for to free his imprisoned father. Mary J. Blige and Camila Cabello also star. Rob Peace is in theaters August 16th.
The best thing you could do for your daddy is to keep being brilliant.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll leave you with a video of tiger cubs at a zoo in Germany. From all of us here at KOAM, have a great night.